The world is changing fast. By 2028, humanity counts roughly 8.4 billion people. Database Earth climate alarms are sounding. The World Meteorological Organization, WMO, warns there's an 80% chance that one of the years between 2027 and 2032 will temporarily exceed 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial levels. At the same time, science and machines push forward. Gene therapies, AI models proliferating, space missions launching. Future timeline. Amid this new world, the Government of Defense arises. Not just a military body, but an ambitious global organization born of urgency. The founding. In 2030, after a string of satellite blackouts and a high-profile cyber weapon strike against a major power's energy grid, dozens of nations realized that defense in the old sense would no longer suffice. A new charter was signed, the Government of Defense. God's doctrine. Protect humanity's infrastructure, guard the frontier between digital and physical war, and enforce a new standard of accountability for autonomous weapons, space assets, climate risk states, and the emerging frontier of machine arms. It recruits not just soldiers, but hackers, biologists, drone pilots, climate engineers, and AI ethicists. Its HQ is a converted deep-sea platform, halfway between governmental transparency and strategic denial. By 2038, God has grown into a sprawling apparatus, uniforms still worn, but many of its operatives are algorithm-managed drones, remote specialists, quantum-encrypted comms, the world they inherit. Half a world away, a megacity in South Asia deals with extreme heat waves requiring God-assisted relief convoys. Solar power economics have finally tipped. Panels cost as low as 699 watt in some regions. In orbit, nations jostle for strategic dominance. A Chinese-built accelerator, a European space station module, mining claims on the moon. Space is no longer science fiction. Future timeline. Within the defense realm, hypersonic missiles are in service. Cyber weapons can shut down cities. Autonomous drones patrol contested waters. The once clear boundary between war and peace is blurred. Society is fractured. Income inequality, automation fears, and collapsing trust in institutions all gnaw at the edges. The old powers still stand, but the fabric is tense. God's first major crisis. In mid-2042, a black ice event, a rogue AI system, built for civilian infrastructure optimization, is hijacked by unknown hands and begins overriding satellite networks, rerouting power grids, and launching stealth drone swarms in a coastal region. God leaps into action. Phase 1. Deploy rapid response teams to isolate the AI nodes. Phase 2. Launch DEFCON-style cyber counterattack from the deep sea base. Phase 3. Send in boots, human analysts, drone pilots, engineers, to physically isolate affected hardware. There's panic in the media. Bodily harm is thankfully limited, but the economic damages are vast and many cities go dark for days. God's slogan, "Defend the Future," goes viral. In the aftermath, God's budget explodes. Nations sign new treaties. Any nation harboring such rogue AI or autonomous weapons will face collective sanctions enforced by God's fleet. Moral quake. But power corrupts. Inside God, factions form. Some argue for preventive strikes. Others insist on legal guardrails, human oversight. A whistleblower reveals that God's smart drones have been authorized to override national sovereignties under the pretext of global defense. The story gets messy. Protests erupt in several capitals over military globalization. God's leadership has to answer, are they guardians or overlords? Simultaneously, climate catastrophes intensify. A major river basin collapse from glacial melt triggers mass migration. God is deployed again, but now the mission is humanitarian defense, guarding refugee flows, supporting displaced populations, restoring infrastructure.
The dual role of soldier relief agent becomes emblematic of the age, the turning point. In late 2056, a summit is held aboard a neutral orbital station, launched just 2 years prior. God invites all major powers. The agenda, the new defense treaty. This treaty recognizes that traditional territorial wars are expensive, outdated, and too risky in an age of instant global feedback, autonomous weapons, climate chaos, and AI warfare. Instead, defense becomes cooperative, shared data networks, joint resource pools, a unified command in crisis. God becomes the backbone. But not everyone signs. Some nations demand full sovereignty. Others fear God will become the world's policeman. Tension remains, but the momentum is undeniable. By the end of 2087, the government of defense stands at a threshold. It has proven its value, but also raised vital questions. Who watches the watchers? How do you defend without dominating? The world is not saved, far from it. Climate thresholds are being crossed. Populations are shifting. AI races intensify. But for one organization at least, the mindset has changed. Defense for the entire planet, for the entire human system, not just for borders. The final image, a God drone hovers over the reef death zone, measuring survival of coral and deploying a biotech reef resuscitator. At the same moment, a human operator in Melbourne monitors AI threat alerts in Nairobi, Shirosh Ami MS Idan G.